Welcome back to our Red Founder interviews. Here's part two of Arthur's interview with Charlie and the story behind their micro-enterprise, LycanCo. Their discussion is around some of the lessons learned when developing the range, the brand's story, and LycanCo's marketing journey.
Your experience, you mentioned about the journey from the very beginning of getting involved in the micro enterprise side of it, the challenges, the financial challenges and things along the way. What have been some of the really exciting bits of the journey as you've come through? What are the things that stand out for you? Because you've got a presence, you've got a brand out there that people,
Okay.
and you do love the showmanship.
It's true. I'm a bit of a diva when it comes to it. It must be said, But if I'm gonna go with exciting, well, there's a few different answers I can give you. If we're going for just the heart-pounding excitement of it, I could mention how when I was learning to make a lot of products, I had to deal with more than one type of explosion, and that was me more than once, even now when I forget to maintain temperature control. Needless to say, some lessons need to be relearned. They really, really should not have to be relearned. And I guess another really interesting experience from my perspective is when I'm meeting someone for the first time and they know who I am. And I have no clue how they do that. And apparently I am well known in certain circles because I've been doing this so long. I've got videos on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I'm even doing some TikToks now.
Where, you tell the story behind the brand and everything of what you've created. So compared to others in the marketplace, in those market events that you attend to, it's not only your height, Charlie, but it's your personality that sort of people just get captivated, especially when you're telling your story behind a soap. You've got one there, haven't you, to show us?
Yeah. All right. So here's one of my products.
The new brand,
clarifying charcoal bar soap. Really good. If you got like oily skin and need a bit of clearing up.
So that works really well with removing oils, right?
Oh yeah. So the main active ingredient is activated charcoal, which is really good for absorbing all manner of things, toxins, oils, etc. At the same time, it's got like a fine grit, so it's lightly abrasive. Nice. So you got like a light exfoliation as well.
Nice.
Regular use helps to really help clear out your skin. I really like it, how it like leaves my skin and hair feeling, to be honest, just because I tend to have like oilyish sort of skin and hair.
Yeah. So you use it as a shampoo as well?
Yeah, I mean, I use it in my hair, beard.
Nice.
I try to make sure majority of my products are good for skin and hair alike. And I also sell things like conditioner bars, shower steamers, skin creams, and of course the previously mentioned tattoo balm.
Yes. Nice.
I make all these products myself by hand using natural and sustainable ingredients. Generally, when I'm creating or inventing a product, I'm trying to design them with an intent or a purpose in mind. The charcoal bar soap, I formulated that with the idea of helping people clear out their skin, oily, dry, flaky, that sort of thing. A lot of the time when I'm starting with these ideas, I start off with either a problem or that needs to be solved, like oily skin, dry hands, etc. Or I find out about something interesting or something just pops into my head randomly. I do the research, I do the development. Sometimes I wind up with a really good quality Product, sometimes I underestimate the concentrated power of menthol crystals and burn the film off of my eyes.
Oh, oh. And Charlie, tell me, you've actually have got as part of your team involved with LycanCo, you've had like a coach slash advisor
Oh yeah, I've
who's
had
involved with
several.
quality, the guy with quality, Nick, who's been involved in manufacturing over the period of
Oh yeah,
time.
I've had several what I would call business coaches or advisors
Advisors,
over
yeah.
the years, especially when I was starting out and just didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing.
Mm.
In the process, eventually the business grew to the point where I was no longer able to deal with it all myself, so I had to start taking on some help. I would I would just recognize the areas which I myself am either unskilled at or just really unhappy to do. Social media. And I would go look for people to help fill in the gaps, one of whom is, as you said, Nick.
Yeah.
He's very experienced with a lot of business practices, including uh, businesses in my line of work. Uh, And one of the main things I may have mentioned earlier is my dislike of bureaucracy in general and my own personal difficulty just trying to keep everything organized and
Mm.
staying up to date with any regulations slash legislation changes that have taken place. Just because I am admittedly not the best at checking these things. But that's actually one of the big things you need to be able to do if you want to run your own business. You have to be able to recognize yourself and what you're good at and what you're not, and just either come up with workarounds or solutions for them. My
Yeah.
solution was to ask for help,
Yeah.
which I have to pay for.
Yeah. But in saying that though, Charlie, you bring a great point to that we should cover on here, which is really around the whole piece of getting an organisation like LycanCo up and about. It is about having a team approach, of being able to have people like Nick, for example, who brings all that experience from Jalik, where he was at before. So, what goes into a bar of Lycan soap or all the other products that you've actually manufacture is really good quality processes and quality standards to ensure that the product that people are taking home with them is safe to use, and that's a really important element, as well as accessing things like other team members relating to social media and things like that. So, and we do the same in our organisation. What we do here at Red, we tap into people who we're not experts in, but we know they're good at something, and then we bring them in to create the team to be able to make it what we do better than anybody else. So it's great that you bring up the whole piece around teamwork. In terms of what advice would you give, Charlie? Because you've got a brand, you've got a presence in the marketplace. As we said, you're in a number of markets across South Australia. People can buy your product online. You're in stores as well, one in the city and one actually out at Hutt Street as well. So
There's actually a couple in the city now. Yep, as you said, Hutt Street, and I'm also in. All right, so in
Rundle.
Hutt Street, there is the Something Special concept store, which has been a really good customer since
Yes,
last year. And there's also the Bearded Dragon Art Gallery,
yes.
which is in Gaze Arcade, just off of Rundle Mall.
Yes.
I've been working with them since almost the get-go, really. I also work with the Here's to Strength group in Aldinga. They do a lot of natural health and wellness, everything from physical health to mental health. Really great group of people. I enjoy working with them. I also, as you said, I have an online shop, which admittedly doesn't get as much digital traffic as I would like, but that's one of the things.
It's a journey.
Oh yeah,
But it's a journey,
and a process, and anyway.
Yeah. Well, you got to start somewhere, and slowly it's something that grows over a period of time.
That's part 2 of Red's LycanCo story, and there's more. Open part 3 and see how Charlie shares their advice to others considering entrepreneurship and self-employment.